Totally went to Jared. Celebrate life's unforgettable.
You remember the stupid commercial?
Now at Jared, you'll find a fabulous Pandora selection.
So there was a commercial saying he went to Jared, and I heard go get a Barrett. So there it is. There is the big box of the Barrett, because Barrett and Jared, to what you guys call me foreigners, sound exactly the same. So let's see what I got here, because it's a big heavy Pelican, well, case. This thing weigh like 30 something pounds. So it's come like this in the big box, and it took forever to find one, and it was a nightmare because they upped the price and it's a complete rip-off. But I say I'm gonna get one anyway. And there it is. There is my 416 Barrett M99. And now you're probably asking, why are you buying a M99 416 when you can get a 50 BMG? But I have a serious problem. I am in California, so we cannot really get anything bigger than the 416. Let's shut off my AC, and then you guys gonna hear me better. So what we're gonna do with this guy today, we're gonna put a scope on it, and I'm gonna show a couple way of putting scope on the Barrett, and then we're gonna go and shoot it. And then after we're gonna shoot it, we're gonna reload the ammunition. So those ammo right now more than $12 a bullet. If you find one, you're gonna pay more than $12 for it. So when you're gonna go and get one of those, every shot that you do need to count. So we want everything to be exactly as we want it, and we want to hit the target wherever we want it. So without any further ado, wow, go pick it up. It's so heavy, it's so beautiful. Now put it real quick on my table, and this tin does arrived with his own bipod. See, it's pretty big. Even on my loading table over here, it's kind of really big weapon. Ta-da! Now let's do this. Let me close the case real quick, move it away. The GoPro is on my head, and I'm trying to do everything at the same time, so hopefully you guys are gonna see it good. So what we got here right now is the Barrett. This is how you get it from the box. Look at this big muzzle brake on this thing. This is humongous. This is like it's big. It's just humongous. Now if you want to compare this with any other thing, it just, there's nothing to compare, you know. It's huge. Let me see, do I have any bullets here on the table? Okay, there's a bullet here. Okay, this is 38 special. 38 special. Yes, I put it here for a second. Is it gonna stand? 38 special on top of the muzzle brake. This how big it is. Yeah, this is how big it is. Let's take this thing away. Now I want to show the cycle over here real quick. It's pretty important. So when you cycle this thing backward, this is how big you're gonna have, like the round. It's have a very cool design inside. I really like this design. I think that they did pretty much amazing work with this. So it's gonna slide all the way to the back. It's a single shot, so you're gonna put your round inside of here, and you're gonna slide it all the way, and then you have to bring it down and then lock it into place before you can actually shoot it. Okay, so that being said, let's start with looking how to mount the scope and what we have to do. Maybe gonna have to do that in couple pieces, so we're gonna be able to adjust certain thing. Now to remove it and remove the back, there is like 3 pins. There's 1, 2, and 3. Those are like the AR-15 pins. You just shove them out like this, and you pull them, and they're just out, and then you remove it, and you remove your bolt action out. And then now, if we're gonna want to put a sight on it, first of all, one thing that you have to do, and this is pretty tricky, you have to take a level. And when you do take a level, you have to check that your table is actually to level. So if you look at my table, Let's see, can you even see this right there? It's hard to see. My table is not really level, so the rifle gonna need to be a little bit more tilt sideways, but I have a different way to do that. And then you have those little guys, and when you put them on the rifle, you can actually see that it's not really, you know what, I have light for this. You can actually see that the bubble is not really where it's supposed to be, so it's really going to need to be about there. And we don't really want to work on a rifle when it's crooked. Again, this is like to shoot like a mile and a half, trying to do 2 miles. If you watch a couple other guys that doing shooting, there is a couple other viewers, not viewers, YouTubers that I'm watching, and they're shooting almost like 2 miles. And I want to try to get the same result, so we're gonna go ahead and fix this and set it up. So because my table is so crooked, I have a different alternative that it's really cool. So now this my video not sponsored by anybody, and it's going to be demonetized by YouTube. So anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. So far, if you have comment, put it right now below. And if you want to do advertisement and support my channel, we have a Patreon and a couple other things. You can contact me in the private and I'm going to send you the information. But if you want to do advertisement for your business or something, just let me know and we can actually do it. We can definitely do it. So this is what we got. This is what we have to deal with. Now let's go over here and see my other goodies. So I have a scope over here, Vortex Striking Eagle, and this is a 525-56. And then now what we got here is something really cool. So we got here a big tripod that this tripod will grab the rifle for me, and I can set this tripod up to be straight with a level. So when I set up my rifle right now, it should be 100% straight, and I will check it with the 3 different ways possible. And I have a couple different tools that I'm going to show, and I'm going to teach a little bit about it. Okay, so to start with, there is a level. 1 second. Pop. There's a level right here that with this level you can actually set up your rifle. Now this is a little bit too tall. Let's lower it like about a foot or so. It will be easier for you guys to see. And then while I'm actually bringing it down, I'm actually trying to level the ball over there to the center. This is 1, 2, and 3. So the ball is center right now, but it's not mean that this is 100% straight. So what I'm doing then, I'm gonna take my regular level and I'm gonna try to see, yeah, this is completely crooked. So I'm gonna have to adjust it a little bit more. And the best way to do that is to adjust it when the rifle is on, and then you know for sure your rifle will be straight. Now, this thing will go in angle up and down, so you can set it up to wherever you need. And then you can check it by the top, and you see that it's almost there, but not really. So we're gonna set it up. Now, let's open this to the maximum. And what it's going to do, it's going to be hard to do this with this rifle because it's so heavy. I'm going to stock here a rifle, and we're going to lock it in place. And then we're going to have to lock this thing in place. Now this thing is so heavy, so it's trying to pull down. Okay. Wow, yeah, this is so heavy that it's literally going to pull down. So what I'm going to need to do is actually set it up in a place that actually will be kind of center of gravity of the rifle. So I'm going to move it until it's kind of CG of the rifle is set. It's because of this big muzzle brake. Okay, so now what we got is this. The rifle is actually holding pretty good. And now I can see here, I put 2 levels. I put 2 magnetic levels. There is a reason why I put 2. And okay, you see that one is kind of more crooked than the other, and those are actually a major brand for doing those things. So it's kind of ridiculous that they're not all working good. So what I'm gonna do, I have a couple more. So what I'm doing now, I'm setting a couple options and seeing which two are going to be the closest. So look at this. This is ridiculous. This is dead on. This is almost there, and this is kind of crooked. The Picatinny rail is not warped or anything. It's just like the way that they're doing this. Let's change this and that and actually confirm what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, so it's mean that this one is total garbage. When you put it here, it's off, and when you turn it to the other direction, let's see. Yeah, this one is obviously faulty, but those two are okay, so we can actually keep working with them. So let's move this far away. Okay, so now we have those two, and they're more or less the same. I'm trying to torque it a little bit. I see here that this is center, this is not. I will change again between both of them right now, just to make sure. And I see that this one is getting close to center, and this one is actually as good as it's gonna get. I don't think we're gonna get anything better than that. So it's mean that right now our rifle standing straight completely. Now another thing that we're gonna do later, we're gonna put the scope with a level. After that, there is another tool right here. This tool is a triangle that actually going under the level, and this will go right here in the rails of the Picatinny, and then you grab this from the other side and slide it up, and what it does, it's actually square up 100% your scope to the rail. It's very cool, but if your rail is crooked, it's not really going to do anything for you at all, and then this might going to be a problem. Actually, you can use also this little guy that come with it, and then you slide a triangle for this as well. So there is a couple different options to do that. Now let's put this thing aside just to show you guys how pretty this thing looks. This is just kind of amazing, huh? Look at this beauty. Okay, now let's go here, and we got a brand new scope. And again, I pick up the Vortex because of the price point. It was a little bit cheaper than actually buying the alternative. The alternative was Night Force, that was actually 3 times the price. And I know that it's going to be much better, but I don't think that I'm going to pay $3,000 for a scope right now for what I want to do. Now, I'm using a pretty inexpensive mount for the scope. The reason is because I find out that those inexpensive ones work pretty much the same, and it was easy for me to actually set those things up to what I want versus more expensive one that always was having small hiccups. Now let's move those because we already know that this is set, and then what you do is you're going to try to figure out where your scope need to go, the direction of the scope, and then you can release those by hand and then drop them into place. Okay, and just hand tight it for now. Now more or less, when I'm gonna put my cheek on this and look, I'm gonna see some picture that this is the picture that more or less I'm gonna need to actually work with. Now I need to open the tops over here, release them, and put a scope, and then slide the scope backward and forward to see that my eye relief will actually work for what I need. So let's do this real quick. Okay. Dum-da-dum. It's come with a message from Vortex. Attention, probably mount your scope do not exceed 18 inch-pound torque. So they're telling you when you torque, not torque the hell out of it because it might break. And you know, easy way to say it. Okay, let's see. Let's open those guys. Now, when you do release the mount on your scope, make sure to put them exactly the same way that you took them out. So if they're not square or anything, that you can do that. Now, if this will not gonna be squared out, there is a tool that is kind of a weird file that you file the two together in order to fit the scope inside. And I'm gonna show it in another video how to do that. This video is just gonna be tutorial front to back of how to do everything on this. Okay, this is one. I'm just gonna place it here exactly as it is, and I'm gonna come back to it later. And you know, I do the channel for a while now, and I have some videos with couple thousand, 10,000 views, and it's not that much, to be honest. And I have a lot of people that were telling me that I don't know what I'm doing, and I definitely agree with you guys. I don't know what I'm doing at all, and I think that 7 years Special Forces did not teach me anything. And I know that some of those guys that actually giving me a hard time shot a lot of paper target, and I was practicing on real livestock and real enemies, so I know they don't consider me that I know what I'm doing. So I just want to square it out for everybody. Now let's get the scope. We need to remove this, and we need to do that super gently. I'm gonna try to just peel this, not cut it. There it is. Now, so when you mount your scope, first make sure this is stable, and we're just gonna drop the scope here very gently. Okay, and now I see that there's already a problem that I'm gonna have to go and address right now. This one is a 30. I'm not sure if this is a 35 because it is not fitting no matter what I'm gonna do. I need to get a bigger mount. So you can see over there. So I'm gonna have to go in real quick and get a different mount, but look from the side how beautiful this thing look like. So this will be a pretty awesome machine, but right now I'm stuck. I need a new mount. Let me go and get it. Definitely need another one.